Hello everybody, welcome to our discussion around fixed income in 2022. And yes, what an interesting year it was. It literally was about the Fed changing inflation expectations and hiking interest rates and being very hawkish. What a very, very tough year for fixed income markets. If you think that it literally was about the US market, you know, that US 10-year treasury going from around 1 all the way up to 4.5%, emerging markets selling off, inflation shooting out. It was a very, very difficult year in basically all asset markets. And also for South African fixed income markets, if you think that, you know, inflation probably around 7% in 2022, and not great returns from the fixed income market. So just to give you a bit of a perspective on it, so we got about 5% from cash, we got 4.25% from nominal bonds, we got 4.25% from inflation bonds. So duration didn't play off in 2022. We literally saw the SARB hiking interest rates by 325 basis points, and they may not even be finished. So a very, very tough environment for fixed income. But being valuation based, we always think that, you know, the best opportunities are made in markets where it feels unloved, it feels uncomfortable, and historic returns are not great. So yes, a very tough market. The South African fixed income curve steepened quite a lot. The SARB being very hawkish, hiking rates quite a lot. So yeah, not a great market. So what do we do now for 2023? Well, we've seen this whole move in rates and inflation. I think we went a straight uphill in rates and inflation in 22. So what can we expect in 2023? Well, I think we're going to look down the hill this year. So inflation from that peak at 7.8 in the latter part of 2022, now we're going to run downhill. At some point it looks like inflation could be 4.5, 4.8%, somewhere in the middle of 2023. In that environment, I think the SARB will be very interested in maybe just stopping the rate hiking cycle, even cutting rates maybe in the latter part of 2023. I don't have to say too much about load shedding, but the issue about load shedding is growth is going to be low. And in an environment where inflation is falling and growth is falling, well, that's a very good recipe or place for the SARB to actually cut rates. So we're going to have an inverted V. It looks like inverted V in interest rate. You say, well, what's an inverted V? Well, it happens that, well, you might find that the SARB hikes rates in this first quarter of 2023. We get to the middle of the year, inflation falls sharply, growth is not looking great. Well, there could be the possibility of rate cuts in the latter part of 2023. That will be great for fixed income asset markets, right? So if we think about asset allocation in fixed income for 2023, well, in a rate cutting environment, so cash rates look attractive to us. Remember, the 1-year NCD is around 8.5% with inflation around 5.5%. Well, that's CPI plus 3 from cash markets. Sure, that looks like a great return for us. Looking at credit markets, well, JIBAR is up at, call it 7.3, plus you get a credit spread on top. Also around CPI plus 3 from credit markets. Inflation-linked bonds, not so great this year. Why? When inflation falls, inflation bonds is not the asset class to be. Nominal bonds, when inflation falls and growth falls, that's the asset class to be in. So from an asset allocation call, cash, credit, nominal bonds, they look attractive to us. Yes, in South Africa, they look attractive to us. Why? Because there's such a lot of negative news already priced into the markets. Remember, globally, yield curves are very flat, pricing in flat trajectories, flat central banks. In South Africa, the yield curve is still very steep, meaning that there is a term premium up there. By investing on that term premium, it's to the benefit of our clients. You get rewarded for taking duration risk in South Africa. So that's a great environment. We're still very constructive on South African fixed income. We think without taking too much risk on your portfolio, that yes, we may have double-digit returns in South African nominal bonds. As we said, 8.5% type returns in cash. Those are looking attractive. So yes, I think that in 2023, South African fixed income should be in your portfolio. It looks attractive. Yes, we are going to go through times of volatility and the news flow is going to feel negative. But in those times, we are going to get opportunities to buy quality assets at cheap prices. So yes, 2023 is going to be better than 2022 from a markets perspective. It's not going to be an easy ride, but I think we're going to have very good opportunities in 2023 to set ourselves up for what may come in 24 or 25. Good luck out there. It is going to be tough, but in that tough environment, good opportunities will present itself. Thank you.